Okay.
Hey guys, this is Juniper Gaming and I'm Josh K bringing you the Week 2 Post-Week Show here. So, this time I'll be showing you all the game scoring summaries, well not all of them, just the ones that were close. And we'll kick it off with the Warriors that beat the Spies at home 35-16. It was not very a close game looking at the score on that one. And here we have the Vermont Anaconda beating the Skyrays, Oklahoma City Skyrays at home as well, 19-14. And that's a little of an odd score to me, the 19. So we'll take a look at that. And we'll go down here to the fourth quarter, and it looks like the Anaconda scored 2 field goals in the fourth quarter, which looks like it gave them the win, if I'm doing my math correctly. So that's good for the Anaconda. And next we have this game. This was the game of the week last week. You guys know what happened in that one. It was very close until the end. And here we have the Sharks that beat the Kansas City Cherokees 34-10. It looked like a blowout, as well as the game below it. The Suns beat the Fort Worth Condor 23-0. So it was a shutout, if you will. The Condors did not get one single score. And here we have the Killer Bees winning in week 2 against the Memphis Owls 13-7 at home. So when the Killer Bees left the Juniper Stadium and went home, they got a win, and looks like they were winning in this at the end of the game. Looks like they were winning the second half, and it looked like they had the lead all the way through. So that's good for them, getting a win. They changed their plans after that devastating loss in the first week. And here we'll go to the Pioneers actually beating the Fresno Travelers 15-6, and that's definitely a shock for me anyway, as the Pioneers having lots of injury troubles and a lot of just troubles all around getting a win. So that's good for them. And next we have the Baboons losing to the Pitbulls 17-12. And we'll take a look at this game as it was a 5-point game and a lot of scoring action in the fourth quarter, as White got a 31-yard field goal for the Baboons, and there was a 12-yard pass from Brewster to Griffin for the Pitbulls, and a 2-yard run with a failed 2-point conversion for the Baboons was not enough for them to get the win, as the Pitbulls overtook them. So that's not very good for the Baboons, and we'll move on from that as we have the Shamrocks beating the Flame in a close game. It looks like 20-17. The Shamrocks won at home, and we'll take a look at that, and a lot of scoring here in the fourth quarter as well, as there was a 27-yard pass to Roberts from Falitogo, I believe that's how you pronounce it. And then a 39-yard field goal from Richmond for the Flame, and a 52-yard run by Clark for Boston, and then another 20-yard pass from Williams to Roberts. So it looks like the Flame were trying to catch up, but they just could not do it ultimately. With only 116 left, they couldn't handle the Shamrocks this week. So we'll move on from that. The Stars lost in a close game to the Crocodiles, as it was 14-16. And we'll take a look. No scoring in the first or fourth quarter, so it was in the middle of the game where all the scores were. And we'll look here. It looks like the thing that clinched it for the Crocodiles was an 85-yard run by Kirkwood, so that was definitely momentum sparker, I would say. And that gave them the win. So we'll move on from that. We have the Junipers losing to the Boars, and the Junipers probably wanted to keep a win streak going. They only won once, but still, it's always good to win, more than once in a row. But they lost that game against the Boars, and the Buffaloes beat the Rhinos 21-6. The Rhinos were home, and they lost by a decent amount, so that's not good for them. And the Vipers lost to the Salt Lake City Nobles at away, actually, and we'll take a look at that. It was only a field goal, and a run by Webb for 80 yards gave the Nobles some points, and Dobb got an 87-yard run to answer back, it seems like, for the Vipers. And then a 12-yard pass from Williamson to Carrington gave the Nobles the win. So that's good for them. And we'll move on to, I think this is the last game, the Blazers and the Phoenix. The Blazers won 22-15. So, oh, I'm sorry. I skipped one. That was the Demons and the Meteors. The Demons won 24-7. I'm sorry about that. I missed that one. But then now the last game, Blazers 20, Phoenix 15. So that is an end to all the games of last week. And you can also check the points and the scoring summary on the website, the JFL website. But now we'll move on to week 3 here, and I'll show you all the games that will be happening this week. The Blazers at the the Pioneers at the Blazers, and let's see if the Pioneers can get another win. I actually it would be cool to see them win. Since they're really an underdog team. As their team is really hurting. It would be good to see them win. The fans would definitely like that. And here we have 2 winless teams, the Condor at the Baboons. So that might be a game that we could watch to see whose losing streak will be snapped. And here we have the Shamrocks at the Vipers and the Meteors at the Stars. And that is 2 losing teams as well. 0-2 are both of them. Someone's losing streak is going to get snapped. And here's 2 winning teams, the Nobles and the Wave. They are both undefeated, so that's definitely be a cool game to watch. The Anaconda and the Lions will be facing off. The Anaconda are away. And the Killer Bees at the Concord Buffaloes. The Killer Bees are away. And the Junipers are taking on the Rhinos. The Rhinos are home with the 0-2 record. The Crocodiles are taking on the Boars. The Boars are home with the undefeated record 2-0. And here we have the Suns at the Travelers. This is I believe, divisional matchup. So that's definitely a heated up game. If you see, I made the joke because they're called the Suns, heated up. Yeah, haha. All right. Moving on from that corny joke, the Pitbulls at the Demons and the Flame at the Cherokees. The Phoenix taking on the Boise Spies that are yet to get a win. And the 2 undefeated teams, the Warriors and the Bulldogs. The Warriors, they are a very good team, but they've made the Super Bowl twice, but they haven't won one yet. So they definitely want to try and win one for their fans, as their fans have been disappointed twice in a row. It's very funny and upsetting at the same time. But anyway, the Sky Rays at the Atomic, the Sharks at the Owls, and that is the last game of the week. And I might be showing this game here, and like I mentioned up before, the Condor at the Baboons. Those are the 2 games I might be showing. So from that, we'll move on to the league leaders here. Let me go in Stat Hub and Season Stats. And we'll take a look and see who's leading in the league as of right now. The highest rating is PJ James with 120 rating, and he actually was the week 2 AFC Player of the Week, so that's good for him. He also has the most passing yards with 543, and the most touchdown passes with 6. And the most interception is Brendan Zielger with 5. No touchdowns, too. So that's not good. No wonder why he's cold. And the longest pass this year is still Skylar Turner with 75 yards. And the most attempts is Philando Loridale with 57. And the most yards is Lamonte Webb with 319. The highest average is Dion Charles with 11, and Kadarius Sanchez has 4 rushing touchdowns. I expect this from him. He's a very good halfback that the Warriors are lucky to have, but they still can't win a Super Bowl. So there's something missing that they just gotta find. But moving on from that, we'll take a look at the person with the most receptions, which is Rajon Simpson. I believe he had that last week as well with 16. And the most yards is Isaac Clements with 218. And the most receiving touchdowns is a lot of people, so I'm not gonna mention all the names. And the top guy is hurt, so hopefully he'll be back for his team, the Atomic, I believe that is. Scott Hunt has the most pancake blocks with 7, and Ibrahim Seastruck, who is trying to protect his quarterback, Dane Smith, the best quarterback in the league. He's given up 4 sacks, so that's not very good. And the most tackles is Brody Ramsey and Luke Gallia, those solo tackles with 20. And the most tackles overall is Brody Ramsey and Brian Kara and Damon DeRise, of course. And the most sacks is Kalen Gardner with 4. And most interceptions are all these guys. That's about 5 guys. And the most yards is Iris Dickerson with 92. The most field goals made is Eric Riley with 8 made this week. He actually broke the record this week. So he's definitely got to be excited about that. And the most punts is Wes Morris with 24, and the most yards, 1,099. And the most in the 20s is Greg McEwen with 8, so that's good for him. And the most touchbacks is Bryce Hessen with 4, but his ratio, in my opinion, is okay, 8 and 4. So that's good. And Greg McEwen has a good ratio as well. And the kick returning now, most kick returns is Deontay Potts, and Sheridan Dixon has a touchdown with the kick return, as well as Sean Reese. Most kick return yards is Dante Potts with 216. So now we'll go to punt returning. Most punts is Antonio Hardy, and the most punting yards is Douglas Lawrence with 149, and he still holds the 2 punt return touchdowns in a game, which is mind-blowing in my mind. He's making the Pro Bowl just with that right there, in my opinion. And the longest punt return is 88 yards by Zach Keller, who also has a touchdown. So now I'll briefly show you the standings, though you could look it up on the JFL website, but I'll just briefly show it to you. AFC North, Buffalo's on top 2-0. The Boars are 2-0 as well, with the Rockford Browns and the Baboons 0-2 on the bottom. AFC South, the Miami Sharks are 2-0, and everyone else, Cherokees, Pioneers, Owls, Pioneers definitely shocking to me, are 1-1. And everyone in the AFC East, Junipers, Killibees, Pitbulls, Crocodiles, 1-1. In the AFC West, Flame, Travelers, Suns, 1-1. Fort Worth Condor, 0-2. And in the NFC North, we have Salt Lake City Nobles 2-0, and the Condor 1-1, Sky Rays 1-1, and the Omaha Atomic 0-2. In the NFC South, we have the Lexington Demons 2-0, along with the Las Vegas Bulldogs 2-0, and the Meteors and Stars are 0-2. And in the NFC East, we have the Wave, who are undefeated 2-0. The Lions fell to 1-1 this week. Shamrocks 1-1, and the Vipers 0-2. And finally, in the NFC West, we have the Little Rock Warriors 2-0, trying to chase their Super Bowl dreams. The Springfield Blazers 1-1, the Phoenix 1-1, and the Spies 0-2. So that'll bring this post-week show to a close. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you guys in week 3 for the pre-week show.